welcome back, man. Happy New Year to everybody, man. Welcome back. Season 3, we kicking it off right, man. Another episode, another season. New season, still the same thing, man. Bar, Drinks, and Entrees, man. Welcome us back, and we glad to be back. I'm glad for everybody who made it to the new year, and, you know, rest in heaven to everybody who didn't, you know. Last year was a tough year, so coming into this new year, I hope everything stays going up and up for everybody. But without further ado, my name is James.
My name is Kenny, and we're here bringing casual conversations to life.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. How you doing, Kenny?
Good, man. Well, for what it was the last couple of weeks, man. I guess we can dive into it, man. And shout out our bro, man, Ronald Pittman. He was a guy that he was on our show. I would say like
second to last show. He was on there a couple of times, but he was on the second to last show.
Yeah, a couple of weeks before Christmas, he was on the show, and the last thing he ever did, you know, like I said, he passed, went home with, you know, he went home to the Lord, unexpectedly to all of us. Shockingly, I'm still shocked about the news and everything like that. But we just had his funeral on Monday, with his family and everything like that. But you know, one of the last things that he ever done on his podcast for us was pray over.
What's up, Pitt?
Hey, man, I just wanted to, if I could, I know we said a lot about God today. I just wanted to have a quick opportunity to pray over the podcast. If y'all
go by all means. Go ahead. Do your thing, man.
You know,
we're never going to turn that down. Never going to turn that down.
I just wanted to say a quick prayer, man. Father God, we just thank you right now, God, for this time, this opportunity, God, this chance that we got to come together in fellowship, God. First, I ask, God, that you bless Kenny and James, God, for this amazing podcast, God, this opportunity that they started, Father God. Cover them and keep them, God. Strengthen it, God. Make this show into whatever you want it to be, Father God. I thank you for all the participants, Father God, everybody that was online today, God. Keep their families, God. Keep them strong, God. Keep them healthy in their mind, God. Keep our bodies COVID-free, Father God. Unify your people, God. God, we need you to show up and show out, Father God. We need you, Father God, to make a way out of no way, Father God. And we rely on you, God, for everything that's happening right now, Father God. So we call out your name right now, God. Move on behalf of their families, God. Be with their children right now, Father God. Help them to make sound and godly decisions, Father God. That your name may get all the honor and glory, Father God. This is my prayer, God, today, Father God, for these people and unto you, God. It's in your mighty name that we pray and we give thanks. In Jesus' name, amen.
And, you know, that's something that we never done, but he asked to pray over it. And like I said, I'm a guy that put God in everything that we do. So, you know, we took his prayer, he prayed over it and told us, don't stop, keep going. And, you know, he was proud of us for starting this and staying consistent and persistent, putting episodes out and things like that, because he actually believed in the brand. So it was definitely tough, but, you know, everybody that loved him is not going through this storm alone. I just wanted James to know that. My man E from the OT podcast to know that we all here, we all going through it together.
Yeah, man. It's definitely been a tough couple of weeks for me. Definitely been a tough week this week too. Laying my man to rest. Like you said, he transitioned to his new home. We've been rocking since 13. He lived across the street from me. Yeah, man, it's crushed me, man. It has definitely crushed me a lot. I still have my good days and I have my bad days with it. Very, very, very intelligent guy. Had a lot of wisdom that he shared on the show. Had a lot of wisdom that he shared with me. Always had my back, man. Like, true definition of a great man, great friend, great brother. So like, this is definitely tough. Even talking about it now, you know, trying not to choke up. This one, I like, especially when we was in high school, man, and growing up. If you seen him, you seen me. If you seen me, you seen him. And, you know, so this one is tough, man. And you know, like you said, rest in heaven, rest easy, rest in peace. You know, just sheesh, man. And like, and then it's, you know, because he, you know, the way it went, man. But like, the one thing that I will say, he was a man of God. He definitely was a man of God, and I know where he is. You know, I know where he resides at right now. So that's the thing. And one thing he wants us to do is celebrate his life and not mourn it. So, that's what I'm trying to do, and I'm gonna continue to do it. Like I said, man, so I appreciate y'all giving me this time to really speak about him and, what he meant to me and what he did for me, in my life, man. True definition of a brother from another mother, man. So, but
we had
like
a lot more funny moments
yeah,
with him,
definitely.
than these times right here. So definitely gonna cherish the memories, man.
Yeah, I'm definitely won't let him go. Still don't want to accept it. But yeah, it's been a rough week. It was even, I'm not gonna lie, it was even hard kind of getting on the pod, man, but Kenny held it down, and then like he just, just talking to him a lot about it. Like he said, Pitt wouldn't have wanted us to stop. Like he said, he blessed it. So, rest in peace to Big Pitt, aka JR, aka my brother, man. So
Love you, bro.
yeah, I love you too, bro. Man, I love you, bro, man. Sheesh.
Yeah, so going on into talking about our happy hour topics, the insurrection.
But before we get there, Kenny,
okay, you want to go somewhere else?
Nah, not necessarily that, man. We got guests on the show that you didn't introduce, but that's fine. You know what I'm saying? You definitely didn't introduce none of the guests. So
yes, I'm a terrible host.
Yeah. So let's introduce our guest that's on here, and I apologize to you guys.
I'm trying to control the ship, man, because you had a moment. So I'm trying to figure out where we going with this. So, but go ahead, man.
But let's introduce our guest, man. Ladies first, always. So I'm gonna start with the young lady who hasn't been on the show yet. It's her first time. A good friend of mine, just like Pitt, been knowing her since 13, and so we went to LBA together. Really all that, man. Just 25 plus years. You know what I mean? She stayed on the other side of me. I stayed out of Grove. She stayed on the other side of the lowest price. So I believe so. But without further ado, Brandy, but she got the Whiskey Introvert up there. So I'll let her introduce herself. And if you got anything you want to promote, please promote.
Just, what I'm saying? Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. Like you said, I've been far removed kind of from the DMV now, probably close to 20 years.
Doing an ATL, right?
Wow.
Right. Yeah, I moved here about 15 years ago, right out of college. So the last time I actually went home was back in 2017 because I wanted to check out that new MGM. Okay. And I linked up with Leah. So we met out there.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Then we hit up stadiums. So that was the last time I was in the city. But you know what I'm saying? Every summer I keep saying I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna make it my business though to go back this summer. I don't care what it is, how I gotta do it. If I gotta have all my kids in tow, I'm definitely coming back up there. But no, I don't really have anything to promote. You know what I'm saying? I'm just all about supporting Black businesses. I'm all about maintaining a positive vibe. So you can find me on Instagram at the Whiskey Introvert, Clubhouse on Clubhouse is at Whiskey Introvert, Whiskey with no E, because they have a limit to the characters that you could put in your name.
So you know how to spell.
Yeah, so you got to take the E out of whiskey or it ain't gonna come up. I got a YouTube channel. I'm about to try to kick that up a little bit more because I really don't put much on it. So, and I have a blog. So you know what I'm saying? I really try to drive a lot of my traffic to my blog because that's what I do. That's my passion. I write. I moved here to Atlanta writing. I used to work for Upscale Magazine. I used to contribute to the Atlanta Voice. So that's what my undergraduate degree is in, is in print journalism. I was a college editor of my newspaper eons ago. So that's what I really love to do, is write. So truthfully, the Instagram is straight, but I'd rather you go to my blog. And then just lastly, you know what I'm saying, on Ron, you know what I'm saying? Of course I remember him, all that, you know what I'm saying? But it was crazy to me because he actually came to Atlanta back in late 2019 with E, you know what I'm saying? When I was on E podcast. And you know what I'm saying? When I saw him, I hadn't seen him, you know what I'm saying? In a minute. So, you know what I'm saying? Just he has a presence, as soon as you see him, you just, you know what I'm saying? It's just jovial energy. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, I couldn't even really do my interview good because I was just in there laughing. Like we was just in there cutting up. So, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the last memory I have of him, which is beautiful. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like I just remember how it made me feel. So, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, JR.
Cool. Sparkle, let's come to you. I mean, it was always ladies first. So introduce yourself and if you got anything you want to promote.
Hey guys, happy new year and all that good stuff. Happy Friday and happy Founders Day to you, Brandy, again.
Oh, yeah, happy Founders Day, Brandy.
Happy Founders Day.
Ski week.
My name is Sparkle. I just want to say sorry for your loss, guys. It's such a tragic time, and I, pray for you guys in your mourning, and you have a new angel. So definitely, I do want to say, my condolences for your loss. I want to shout out my daughter, Azari Kennedy. She has a urban fashion line. It's Ill Fashions Apparel. You guys can find her on Instagram. So shout her out if you guys are looking for some urban, funky attire. And thanks for having me here again. I appreciate the invite. That was really late, but thanks.
Oh, shit. This is one of my favorite guests here, man.
I hate it here. Moving on. Last and final guest on the show today. Our man Bryce, man. Our man Bryce, man. You know him from Nike, man. Young guy, but old soul, man. He definitely acts older than acts older than what he is. Great dude, a lot of energy, man. Good times. When I met him, we hit it off, and we've been rocking and been bros ever since. And so, shout out Bryce. And Bryce, man, introduce yourself, tell a little bit about what you're doing, and anything you want to promote.
Hey, that's the best. First off, namaste to everybody. Hopefully, everybody had a blessed Friday. Secondly, don't try to kick it like I wanted y'all boss, dog. I had you. Okay, don't be trying to downplay me like I ain't signed off when you getting a job at the Nike. Okay. You see how you play with it? Can't even try.
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
Family, James. I had you. No, I'm not. No, but I'm gonna advertise me all the time. So my name is Bryce. I do personal training. You can catch me at Coach Bryce the GOAT on anything you got. I have my own training page as well, GOAT Training LLC. I'm also starting a YouTube channel as well, GOAT Training. Everything is kind of trademarked and in there to go. Right now, what I'm doing is selling hoodies. I'm looking to tap into a little bit more female gym suits. So tops and bottoms, get them with the sports bra, compression tights, all that good stuff. These are some of the hoodies that we're working with right now. I got them in different colors, gray, yellow, black, all of them embroidered, stitched, looking good. You know it, $40. Hit the player up. Get you one. You be out here looking good. I'm trying to tell you, this is my leather couch. I ain't got to tell you that, right? Outside of that, you know what I'm saying? We got masks. I got 3 or 4 different colors of the mask. That's just one of them. Other than that, man, keeping my head down, being an entrepreneur, it's not easy, but somebody gotta do
it. Hey man, congrats to you on that, man. I'm proud of you. Know what you went through at Nike and everything like that. So as we can see now, it was a blessing in disguise. So I'm proud the way you bounced back from that. And yeah, you was my boss, but you was more of a homie than besides a boss. So don't play me like that. I am the elder statesman. Regardless if you was my boss or not. You almost made me curse.
Nah, it's all love. Ain't no such thing as a boss, man.
Yeah, yes, sir, man. All right, now that we got the intros out the way, man, Kenny, let's kind of move forward with what you want to do and disown it, and disregard the guests that we had.
Don't do that.
You can go ahead and get to what you want to get to.
No.
Kenny trying to get us out of here. Kenny's like, what time you say it is?
I'll fall back. Do you think, Kenneth?
Nah, man. Nah. So going into these days and times, man, We got the inauguration coming upon us next week. So we in the happy hour segment, just to let y'all know. But going into the inauguration next week, all these threats, what happened a week ago with the at the U.S. Capitol. You know, I talked to James about it. I said, man, when we do this show, we definitely got to talk about this and ask, first and foremost, where were we at when all this stuff was going down? And, you know, what each and every one of us thought about what was actually going down. And is there such thing as a, what you call that, privilege? in such, when we talk about the insurrection and things like that. So it's a good happy hour topic. I want to, discuss all wrapped in one. Just, first touch on the insurrection, because it was insurrection at the U.S. Capitol, and then also we're going to dive into Joe Biden and how he's going to lead. Well, President Biden, and how he's going to lead the country, and trying to get rid of this long-standing virus. And we can start with my man Bryce.
I'm a sharp man. I don't know if I should go first. Personally, my personal opinion as a Black man living in America, my personal opinion is to be called a monkey for over 400 years and watch how them white people climb that wall, boy. I'm trying to tell you, that to me was all I needed to see. You know what I mean? Somebody used to, I had a coach, he used to always tell us, if you point one finger, it's 4 pointing back at you. And to see just the way that they acted, I guess just being out there and just in support of, I guess, hatred, really. And just, I don't know, the dysfunction that is America, it's kind of just crazy to watch it on television, but also just to hear, like, they're not looters or rioters, like they're protesters. You know what I mean? And it's just like, dang, we standing out front of Target and we might get popped. So that, just I guess to tap into the privilege statement, it's definitely a privilege, but it's also a privilege to be Black. And I think that gets lost in that transaction of what is white privilege. Like, I think it's a privilege to be Black. So I'm, I guess looking at it, I was just like, damn, I guess we all do come from the same place, because they look like the same monkeys they be calling us. Outside of that though, just to wrap it though, I'm sure everybody listening to like Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
So the actual first thing I thought about when everybody was like, man, if it was Black people out front of the Capitol, they would have shot him. And I was thinking about that To Pimp a Butterfly album cover.
Yeah.
And it just like, just looking at it, you know what I mean? And I feel like the depiction of the Black men in that picture, he tried to kind of show all different sides of what we look like to the outside of a Black race, I feel like. So to kind of just see those white faces almost reenacting the To Pimp a Butterfly album cover was almost like, that's just due right there.
Yeah, and by the way, James hates that album, but I told him that album was necessary for the culture. Moving on.
Album is trash, but I like Kendrick Lamar, but that album is trash.
No, man, that album is.
It got a couple of good songs on it, but the album's trash.
That album could come out 2 weeks ago and it'll hit.
Moving on.
Sparkle. Are you ready, or you want me to?
No, I'm ready. So I think you said, where were we? So I was at home teleworking. I didn't know what was going on. I got a phone call, and just to see it was absolutely horrifying. But I will say one thing that I noticed, that the people that were out there protesting had no loyalty to anybody. Even their own people, they were willing to attack. I saw one of the officers that was a white officer, and they were trying to take his gun and kill him. So like, they went so hard, and like Bryce said, them climbing like monkeys, and it was awful. And my heart goes out to the officers that had to deal with it, that wasn't inside officers, because I do believe that there were a lot of officers that had an inside job on it. And I just hope that, it all comes out full throttle. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Brandy?
I mean, I wasn't surprised. I mean, at all. I don't like to get, overconsume or oversaturate myself with politics and news, but
Yeah.
I had been watching and paying attention to a lot of this years ago, but then just, on the acute side, they were telling us what they were up to. Like they were already, basically letting us know, like, from the election, when Biden won, like when Trump wouldn't concede, when he started the whole narrative that, it was rigged, it was stolen, and then, I'm here in Georgia. So it was just all this crazy stuff going on here with how they was, trying to call the Secretary of State. They was calling the governor, trying to get everybody to overturn vote. So it was something that I was watching unfold. So literally early that day, because that's my middle son's birthday, early that day, I had already started watching the live stream, like even before it like hit real news. Because I was like, I already know something about to pop off. And sure enough, like I watched it build up to what it built up to. But what was most striking to me was how people acted so taken aback. Like, oh my God, like they're white terrorists, like, they're domestic terrorists. But like somebody had said, and I ain't got kind of like too sucked into like the CNN vacuum, but white men in America have always been the most predominant white terror. I mean, they've been the most predominant domestic terrorists. They just don't like to acknowledge it. They don't like to actually put that label with it. So that's why I said I wasn't surprised, because that's their backyard. That's what they known for. They found bombs, they found all types of stuff. Like, like they was out there with long rifles. They had a woman with a bullhorn that was calling out exactly where they needed to go inside the Capitol to get access. So, I mean, this was like some real planned out, So saying all of that, like, it was just crazy because I seen a lot of people on social media talking about, oh, it was staged. It was like the Sandy Hook elementary school shooting. Like they just, played that out to distract us. And I don't like to go down a lot of rabbit holes with conspiracies, because my thing is, if it was just completely staged, like they just did it for a wow effect, they should have murked more than just the one white veteran woman and then the one Capitol police officer, because the rest of them was like natural cause deaths. So it's like if they were trying to go for the effect of, let's like really make people get shook, they should have wiped out or fake wiped out, a whole lot more people than they did. So all of that to say, I wasn't surprised. I just think that it's a time right now in the world, and especially in America, where a lot of white people are realizing like goddamn, like, like we really demonic. Like we can, I don't know, like, like I think a lot of them, the veil has come down and they realize like it's us, like, they ain't really what we've been projecting this whole time. It's us, So that's how I saw it.
Yeah, I agree. Like my interpretations of it, like, I mean, be honest, this world was found on white supremacy. I remember reading a book. James Baldwin talked about, how what was their reasoning for coming here, to start freedom, bring new opportunities. And when they saw a person of color or person that did not look like them, they called those people less than a man. So that really trickled them. So any type of crime that happens to them is not a crime because they're not identified as a man, and they talking about people that look like us. So it's yeah. Yeah, Bryce. Yeah, but I really think like how hip hop talks about what goes on in the cities is a direct reflection of what's going on in the environments of people of color, Black and brown, Asian, whatever minority. I think what happened with the whole insurrection thing, it showed the world that America shit stink too. America plays the police. They wear the badge. They go around and try to fix other countries' problems and tell them democracy is this and that. Whereas back home, their shit stink just as much as those countries that they go and critique and try to get on. So I think you know, even for Trump, like I don't even think those people knew that they were going to march to the Capitol until Trump said it. And then when Trump said, "I'll march to the Capitol with you and we'll fight trial by combat," and all this, he just gassing them up and everything like that. But the difference between Trump and like Dr. King and them, when they marched on civil rights, Dr. King and them was in the front line. Dr. King and them got arrested and they was in jail with the people that was marching. Donald Trump was in the Oval Office watching. You know what I'm saying? So this is how these people manipulate even the people that follow them and look up to them and look to them for guidance. He treats them like shit too. So I'm you know, we can say the insurrection was bad, but you know, we had no fight in it. You know, like I said, it was the KKK versus the white supremacists, you know, whatever you call it, the cops versus the KKK or whatever. And we were just sitting back for the first time in American history. So that's the way I look at the whole situation.
I'm just gonna add this one little part, like because I forgot who said it, but it was just the point about the contrast and just how the response was because it was MAGA Trump supporters. And, you know, I know a lot of times people say that people are pushing this whole agenda of defunding the police or police reform, but it's never been about police reform because police know how to exercise restraint. They're trained to mediate. They're trained to not act in deadly force. It's just that they do it with us. They just do it with people of color. It's evident. It's evident. Like you literally have somebody hitting you over the head with a fire extinguisher. You have somebody beating you with a flag. Like you have people showing you that they want to cause harm and nothing instinctually says pull my, you know what I'm saying? Like
right.
It's evident. It's not police reform. It's not, you know what I'm saying, that they have to be rehabilitated. It's that they are intrinsically, it's like intrinsically embedded in them to look at people of color as less than. It's just instinctual for them to react to us the way that they have been. So
yeah.
I'm gonna say something too. I just want to tag on to what she was just saying. Just about when I was saying it's a privilege to also be Black. I think a lot of people, I feel like in our generation or maybe even younger than us, I think the fact that we lose the fact that we are not the minority. We are not a small amount. We are of everybody. Anybody that walks this earth, we are of that. They are of us. So we are just the most, I guess, the closest due to the melanin in our skin. But as far as where that hatred comes from, it's because they know something about us that they stripped from our prior knowledge. So it's something that you have to find for yourself as an individual. We don't really have, I guess, the resources or the amount of people to really project that type of light onto us to let us know that there is a light within us. We usually see people that look like us that come from poverty, or they come from just hardened or stricken neighborhoods or places on earth that are not maybe as forgiving for your skin color, but not realizing that our skin color is actually magical. The things that we could do as a people, the things that we showed them before they were kidnapping us, those are the reasons why they hate us, because they know that we are magic. We started the voodoo and that Creole and knowing seasonings and how the earth moves and how the winds blow and how to hunt and how to fish and how to do all of those things. So when you are the apprentice, sometimes your idols become your rivals. Yeah. And I feel like in life, the reason that a lot of us are just miseducated just about the slave trade period is because we have already been ostracized. We've already been put into a place where, I mean, if y'all, I don't know if any of you all are familiar with like Jim Crow laws, but yeah, that was the whole thing, to remove the whips and chains and still be able to hold over the mind, right? So it started way back from, you know, when I was a kid, and my grandmother just keep telling me, you know, just Jesus and Moses and everybody else and Noah and all of that. And I'm just like, Ma, you sure that somebody was in a whale's stomach for that long and they just came out? Like, who is telling us these stories? Like, where do we get these metaphors and these practices from? You know what I mean? Like, is that really what it's like? Because if you watch the Amistad, when they was coming over, they were praying to Allah on their way over. But just little things like that, just like encoded and just things that, I mean, generationally, like we've already been set back. If anybody in this conversation was to go and tell their grandmother something about, you know, that blue-haired white Jesus or whoever that they pray to, I bet your grandmother might smack you because she just know for sure and she really believes it. And that's the thing. It's almost like Freddy Krueger. If you believe in it, it'll be whatever you believe in. But if you believe in yourself, you'll also see that other light start to come out. So just to, I guess, add that in for anybody that's watching or anybody that's in here, just knowing that your skin is actually the blessing. Like, you actually are blessed. Like, the fact that they hate you, that's the same way that they stoned Jesus while he was hanging on the cross for those who are Christian. You know what I mean? Like, that hate is because you're something different than everybody else. So just naturally they're born, and it's going to be a level of hatred towards you. But like Cat Williams said, you're going to need a couple.
Yeah. What about you, James?
For me, I wasn't surprised. Of course I wasn't surprised because they live by no rules. You know, they lawless. When it's your country, or when it's your rules, you know, and somebody changed them or made you feel a certain way about it, you're gonna act the way you act. And when you feel as though you don't, if you walk the earth like nothing's gonna happen to you, of course you're gonna act the way you act. And like you said, I think they definitely got the battery put in their back. That's the one thing I do love about Trump. He has opened up the doors for them to come out. So now we know who they are, like you always say, Kenny. So you know, I wasn't surprised, and I'm not surprised that they'll be back down here in the next couple of days. You know, and it's crazy that what's going on is on, you know, the holiday, Martin Luther King Jr. But you know, I just feel as though they did what, you know, anybody do that's mad and pouting. You know, I mean, it's just that, like you said, they don't feel as though nothing's going to happen to them. They don't feel no harm is going to be done. They feel as though, like, and when you feel that way, and when the people that, you know, and then they know, not necessarily know the people, but the people that you seeing, they you. Like, we know how to talk to each other. You know what I mean? So 9 times out of 10, I'm not scared of an African American because I can relate. So the people that you going up against, you can relate to. So it's like, yeah, calm down, calm down. When you can relate to an individual of my color, of course you're gonna act accordingly. You know what I mean? For example, as a black man, when you see the police, you tighten up no matter what. You know what I mean? You just tighten up because you know what happens from previous times or experience, whatever have you. With them, it doesn't happen the same way. So why should they feel as though they shouldn't be able to do that? You know, why would they feel like what they did was wrong? Yeah, the takeover, that was a takeover. They breached the Capitol. You know, of course, you know, I believe they should get what they deserve, but you've seen some of the people that got locked up. Woman said, oh, my son is struggling in jail because he only eats organic food and he won't eat. And then from what I heard, they serving him organic food.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, you know what I'm saying? When you have certain things that happen, I mean, you hear the stories, they opened up the gates, you hear the stories, they didn't, you know, Trump didn't, you know, deploy the cops, he didn't deploy the National Guards, you know, things like that. When you hear that, when you see certain officers taking pictures with them, I mean, they look like them, so they act accordingly. So why would you feel as though what you did was wrong? You know what I mean? Especially when you feel like, especially when you don't feel like what you're doing is not wrong because this is your country. That's what they believe. They always say, go back to where you came from. Like they were like they were born here, like they didn't steal this country. You know what I mean? Like this country, well, not they, let me just say, like the country wasn't stolen. This whole, America is built on lies. I just want to see what the history books and what the internet will say when it's time for the generations behind us see this? You know what I mean? How would it look? Will this be in the history book? You know what I mean? Because I've seen a post on how true it is and everything like that, but when the Black Lives Matter movement's going on, there was a bunch of military forces out there, you know, standing there waiting for something to happen.
Yep.
And now when they come down and do everything they did, no mask, they didn't follow any of the rules, no mask, they had their guns and everything like that. And don't know where everybody came from, but I know every country in the world, you can't conceal the carry. I'm not saying that they didn't have their concealed license, but you can't conceal the carry. And they had guns on them. So obviously they felt like, you know, the privilege thing, yeah, I get it. But you know, if you feel privileged, why would you feel a different way? Like you would drive fast or do things because you know that somebody can get you out of whatever you into. Think about it from a standpoint. If I know that the biggest bully in the school or the best fight in the school got my back, I'm gonna talk my shit. Cause I know that who got my back, everybody's scared of. They're not scared of anything. They don't have no reason to be.
6'9".
But so, you know, I don't really want to speak too much on it. I'm just, you know, it wasn't our fight, like you said, Kenny. I get that part of it too. It was just crazy. It wasn't crazy to see. I mean, that's just how they act all the time. You know, this ain't the first time they did it. You know, this ain't the first time, and it's not gonna be the last.
It was like watching two bullies in the schoolyard fight, and everybody sitting back like, "Where my popcorn at?"
So I'm not. Then you heard other things such as Trump talked bad about Pence afterwards. Told me he was acting like a P word. I've seen that clip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like certain things I've seen, I don't want to reference everything because I don't know what's true and what's not. But just things you've seen, the way he talked about it, even when he got on the TV, he said, we don't act like this, you know, good people, even though they stole the election. So you're continuing to incite what they're doing. You're going to keep putting the battery in their back. So if somebody put a battery in your back to charge you up, we've done it before, charge somebody up to go do something crazy. And that's what they did. So, you know, they was true believers. They're true believers in Trump and what he stands for. And, you know, they took it upon themselves to fight. And the crazy thing about it was that same day, a lot of people may not even know, the police over in, I can't think of the name of this, the actual, I don't know if it was the county or the city, but the police in Milwaukee, not necessarily Milwaukee, but in Wisconsin, they got off.
Yeah, I mean.
So a lot of people don't even know that part of it. They got off. So when like, you know, things like that for killing that guy, they got off. And a lot of people don't, that has yet to be talked about because of what was going on at the Capitol. So that's something else. Like I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, but when Brandy brought that up, it just made me think about that.
That ties into exactly that point though. Like that's why, like that was the first time in American history that the world seen on that type of platform racism and double standards as far as justice, you know what I'm saying? Because it's clear, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was a clear contrast. Like, you know what I'm saying? We see the pictures of like when the Black Lives Matter movement was down there, how they had the National Guard, you know what I'm saying? They had them in formation, you know what I'm saying? Trump even passed new legislation, basically saying that, you know, anybody who rioted, you know what I'm saying, damaged federal property would serve a minimum of 10 years. Like he created this, you know what I'm saying, just to make the point that they weren't going to be tolerating it. So to me, that's why this was, to me, it was so historic, just from the standpoint that people always categorize Black people as crying the oh, it's racism card, or oh, you know what I'm saying, like we just making this up in our head. But this was like the first time ever that you seen something like this happen, that like literally, like, you know what I'm saying, like I don't wish death on nobody, but I was literally just sitting there kind of like waiting, like, all right, who about to die? Like, you know what I'm saying? because I was just like, this is too much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they going too hard. It's too much happening. It's nobody around. So I feel like the takeaway from that, if it's even going to be perceived that way, it was a real like come to Jesus moment for the world to realize like, goddamn, like they ain't been lying. Like this is really what they on. Like they really literally sit here and watch their Capitol Police officer get murdered. They literally sit here and watch them overtake a federal building and they standing around like they just helpless. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? They'll come up into a impoverished community and let out 40 rounds on somebody who got their hands up.
Yeah. I mean,
you know what I'm saying? So it was the contrast of it is what I feel like is the biggest takeaway that people now, that veil is down. Like you can't make excuses about it. You know for a fact that the systemic oppression that people have been under, people of color, you know what I'm saying, for X amount of years is not imagined. It's what this country was built on. So you know what I'm saying? The reason why those type of white people, or just white people, if we're gonna speak generally in some kind of context, the reason why they're so emboldened, that shit's in their DNA. Like that's all they've ever known. Like that's how they came into existence, into this world, into this country specifically, is that they are all powered, that they don't have to abide by laws. That's why they was moving how they were. You know what I'm saying? Like they was moving like.
Yeah, because when you make the laws, you know, you can break the laws. That's how I look at it. Yeah, when you make the laws, you can break the laws.
And there's like after this, there's no way that, I mean, they can say they ignored all they want. I know they really believe it. I saw something on Instagram where they found one of the guys that was in the pictures during the insurrection, and they tackled him and put his hands behind his back, and he said, "You guys treat me like I'm black." So it's like, come on, y'all know it's something wrong here. You know, you choose to ignore that.
Crazy. You know, it's crazy when, like, you know, you open up the mail, you got your feet up, you know, you taking pictures and everything like that. But like I said, man, we could talk about it all day. But at the end of the day, man, when you don't feel as though you're wrong, you're going to do what you do. And I don't think they felt though they was wrong in that. I think they felt like it was protest, but like the way they went about it was a terrorist act to me. And you know what I mean? We'll see how they get reprimanded for it, whatnot. But like I said, man, we got some other stuff we got to cover on the show tonight. But, you know, it was a sight to see. It's crazy in our lifetime what we have seen, from 9/11 to Black president to a pandemic to a breach of a federal building, and just even knowing that Trump makes the call to send out the federal officers, National Guards, cavalry, things like that, and he didn't do it. So, you know, but we can talk about this all day, man. Okay, let's keep this thing going. Let's keep the train going.
You want to go to the first round? And
nah, man, we can do this. We can do the let's do it.
We're gonna do a break the ice game, just to break the ice. We came up with this game, and we normally do, like during the quarantine, we did verses. Then sometimes we do a one gotta go. The last episode we did, we played this game where, let's say you on a road trip and you have one R&B artist and one rap artist listen to the whole trip. Just pick one, and then we'll just keep it moving around the table.
Yeah, me and Kenny not gonna go because we did it last time, unless you want to, Kenny. But let's just, you know, if it was on a road trip, and the reason why we do it because it was the holidays and people were traveling, so let's keep the party going. So let's start with you. One R&B artist that you listen to a whole road trip, and one rapper that you listen to the whole road trip.
Beyonce and Tupac.
Okay, I like it. Bryce, let's come to you, Bryce.
This is getting tough right here. I didn't know y'all was gonna get serious like this. Let me ask for one stipulation. Can I put a group in there?
Yeah, I mean, if it's an R&B
group.
Yeah, it could be a group. Yeah.
All right, I ain't got no group, but I just wanted to ask. I think if it was a whole road trip, it'd probably be Jay-Z for my rapper.
Mm-hmm.
And for my R&B, I'd probably go with, dang, it's killing me right here because, you know, I'm an R&B guy. I'm going to say right now, if I was to pull my phone out, it'd probably be Brent Fires or Miguel. I'm gonna go with Brent Fires though.
I'm about to say that was 2, but okay, cool. Brent Fires.
Yeah, yeah, I got you.
Black people don't follow directions well either.
Not well at all. Not well, because I was still about to give you 3.
I know. Brandy, what about you, Brandy?
So I had already thought about it. So I had said for my R&B, it would definitely be, because I've been rocking with her right now, Janae Aiko. And then for rap, you know what I'm saying? At first, I thought Jeezy, just because, like, yeah, like I could see myself, I could ride out to a couple of his albums, but I still got to throw UGK in there. And then an honorable mention for R&B would be Silk.
Okay. Everybody got their own rules. They throw honorable mentions, you know what I'm saying? They always want to switch the game. You know what? That's why I love our culture, because we always throw our own flavor or throw our own little seasoning in the pot. You know what I'm saying?
But look, though,
nah, if you add this, it'll make it taste like this. If you do that, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell you.
That's what we did with Chillins.
Yeah.
Facts. I want to know, but Brandy though, what's your favorite UGK album?
Oh.
Shit. Let me see.
Because that's when I started saying group. That's exactly what I was thinking, but I ain't want to go.
Let me say this.
I got mine.
Let me go a little.
Ryan Dirty for sure.
Ryan Dirty is
I was just about
classic.
to say. Let me know what's your favorite.
What's your favorite?
Murder.
Let me do this.
That's
hold up. Hold up. Not even that. Like, what's your favorite song of UGK?
Say it again.
What's your favorite song, UGK?
You gotta break that down in categories. Like,
just give no.
You gotta break it down in categories.
Y'all going too deep. So I just need one song.
Murder. All right.
Murder.
I'm going with Murder.
Murder.
Bryce with me. Bryce with me, dog.
No, listen.
I love the song Murder.
I love the word. I love the song Murder. But one of my favorite songs is Wood Will. I love Wood Will.
Yeah.
That joint goes so hard.
Yeah.
Hey, Sparkle, hold up. Pocket for the Stones. Crazy. Hold up, y'all, real quick. I'm gonna come to you, Bryce. What's your favorite rapper? What's the favorite song by Jay-Z?
My favorite song by Jay-Z? Probably Imaginary Players.
Gotcha, I love that too. Sparkle, what's your favorite song by your favorite rapper?
Tupac, the GOAT.
Hellraiser.
Oh, nobody don't know about that though.
Oh, you're a real Pac fan.
Oh okay. Yeah, nobody. They don't know about that. They don't know nothing about that album either.
Hellraiser.
Real Pac fan. Ooh.
Man, I'm so much of a Pac fan, man. I still listen to the Outlaws. I still get that shit.
All right. Huh? So listen, man. Moving on to round one.
I don't listen to Kenny.
Listen, hey, I listen to Nas. I don't listen to Bravehearts. I listen to Nas. You know what I'm saying? But the firm was tough. Don't play the firm. But moving on, man. Let's get to this round one, Kenny. What we got going? What we got brewing for round one? As he get us the question for round one, I'm gonna go across the room. Starting with you, Brandy. What you sipping on?
I am sipping on 100% rye bourbon by Whistle Pig Piggyback.
Whistle Pig Piggyback. Okay, cool. Brandy, we got to get in touch too, because I'm gonna need to know some things to drink on, man. Some sips, since you're the whiskey introvert. And I'm gonna tell you one thing that if you don't do it already, make sure you do this kind of style. You making your own whiskey. When it get to the last glass, when it get to the last glass, don't drink it. Just pour all of them in one and make your own.
You talking about like if I had like four or five different bottles, just like
every bottle, all 5 different. So choose one bottle, and then like when that bottle get to that last cup, don't drink it, sit it out, and then when you get your next whiskey bottle, when it gets to the last glass, pour that one on top of that, and keep going until you fill the bottle up. And then
have you done that?
I'm doing it now. And then once you let it sit, you know what I mean, let it sit a little bit, let it marinate together, see what it tastes like.
I bet I'm gonna do that.
Bryce, what you sipping on over there?
LaCroix. You know what that is?
Talk to me.
It's a damn carbonated water, baby.
Hey, man,
I'm over here on that grapefruit. Y'all know I'm in the gym, man.
Yeah.
I can't be drinking that stuff like I used to, dog. I turned 30. and I started getting the dads. You know what that is?
You started doing what?
I started getting the dads.
What's that? Talk to me, man.
That's the day after drinking shit. Boy, I wake up the next day, I be like, fuck everybody and their mother. You hear me? I'm not messing with it. If I drink, it got to be social. Like, if I was chilling with the whiskey introvert, we gonna drink just because your name is whiskey introvert. You know what I mean?
Okay, so
if I'm chilling with Sparkle, we gonna drink. But y'all two fools, hell no. I'm good. I'm going home.
But if you had a choice of drink at the moment, what would be your drink?
Choice of drink at the moment. I be hanging with all my rich friends that's in the streets. You already know how I'm going. 1942, Azul. I'm getting real freaky out here. Tequila for real in the club. I like champagne. To be honest, I guess an unpopular take as a grown-ass man, I like mimosas with the pineapple and the mango juice.
You're a brunch bopper.
I'm a fairy. Yeah, I was about to say, I'm out here moving soft as hell in the drink game.
You're a brunch bopper. You're a brunch joint. You're a little brunch joint.
Niggas know me from my hood days, though. When I was on Henny, you know what I'm saying? I used to get the fifths all the time, but that shit done ran its course on your boy. I got kids now.
I can't do that. I can't drink Hennessy no more. Oh my God.
Yeah,
so that shit. I ended up with a baby last time I had some, so I'm done.
Gotcha.
Done.
Kenny, I don't know what happened to Spock, but Kenny, what about you?
Oh man. What about me?
What are you drinking? God, boy.
Oh, my man, BR and Associates. He well, as you can see, I'm just about finished with it, but this mango margarita.
Mango margarita, extra mango. Extra mango.
This guy, man.
Sparkle back.
Where she at? I don't see her.
Sorry.
Oh, there she go. There she go. What you sipping on over there? A touch of Sparkle?
Sipping on champagne.
Oh, champagne. I thought you were sipping on a touch of Sparkle. Is that what it's called?
A touch of Sparkle. Mm-hmm.
So, just a tidbit. My homie Sparkle makes her own drinks as well. So if y'all in the market for some liquor,
I'm trying to pull up with you, James. Like I'm trying to get some of these drinks you've been talking about. You keep talking about it on the show, but every time you pull up, I ain't around.
And I'll cook for you guys too. I'll cook for you guys too.
Oh no, she can throw down, man. She get you drunk and then cook for you.
Caco.
Drunk, of course. And
all right.
This will be.
All you gotta say is food.
FYI, this will be post-COVID. You know what I'm saying? She does not let anybody in her house do that.
Oh, I definitely.
I do a grab and go.
Yeah.
Right.
So
if that food right, Bryce be there at night.
So for me, I did a throwback, man. Like I said, like Bryce said, man, haven't been a cognac drink in a while now, but I'm drinking Hennessy Pure White. You can't get it in the States. So I had it. I've probably had this bottle for at least 4 years.
I think I know you owe me a bottle, but
I owe you a damn bottle.
Milton, one of y'all owe me a bottle, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, so you can have this bottle. You can have it because I'm not gonna drink it all. But that's what I'm drinking.
Like it? You like the Pure White?
Yeah, I do. I love it better than any other Hennessy's. Yeah,
it probably don't have as much like. I look at the process of how the spirit is actually made, you know what I'm saying? And like cognacs is very alike into how they make wine. Like, you know what I'm saying? They started out with grapes. That's why that shit be so syrupy. And that's why that's probably why I never really like cognac, because specifically Hennessy, because to me it tastes like, you familiar with liqueur.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a simple syrup. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you, more than anything else that you take from it, it's like what they call that, what's that ingredient people always talking about that's a likened to sugar, that's in a lot of not agave.
Grenadine.
No. Like it's like, and usually like in processed stuff. It's
high fructose corn syrup.
high fructose corn syrup.
You can tell when somebody work out. High
Yeah.
The
fructose
healthy
corn
nigga
syrup.
knows.
Yeah, but yeah,
Like
high fructose corn syrup. Yeah.
Right. That's how cognac usually.
But this is, but you know, it's pure white, so it's more of a novelty, and you know, it's more of a push thing just to say you drink pure white.
Right. Like, and that's why, you know what I'm saying? I think that was probably what turned me on once I actually started paying attention to it, like whiskey, because I don't have to cut it. You know what I'm saying? And when I was younger and I used to drink, see, I was into all the like kamikaze, cosmopolitan. I still like a good martini, you know what I'm saying, here and there. You know what I'm saying? But what I learned is a lot of times when people get sick or they start feeling whatever when they've been drinking, it's because they got too much other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like the volume, like you got all them sugars, you got all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what really messes with your system. And I can't think of the word, but that's why, like, when I think about whiskey, and I ain't trying to promote whiskey, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
good, man. We could tell that. Listen, your name is a risky introvert.
But that's what turned me on to it, because I was just like, goddamn, like, I'm tired of having a hangover. Like, I'm tired of every time I drink, I wake up and I'm feeling like shit. So I started casually just sipping it, and I was like, damn, like, and it's crazy because when I really started to get into it, I first was drinking scotch. I was drinking Johnny Walker. You know what I'm saying? I think it was either red or black label. And I was like, damn, like, I didn't drink a good little amount of this and I'm good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. And so that made me look into like how it was actually made. And a lot of times when it comes, not saying that cognacs, that would probably be next to a whiskey, but usually whiskeys, you know what I'm saying? Like, they age it. Like, to make a really good whiskey, it has to be distilled for a while. You know what I'm saying? It don't take a lot to distill a vodka, you know what I'm saying? Even in some instances, like a rum, you know what I'm saying? Even gin. So
the better ones, they do age it. Better vodka.
You said they what?
The better vodkas, the better tequilas and stuff like that. They still like vodkas. Like, I think the vodka is the easiest thing to make. It's the quickest thing.
Yeah, it is.
But tequila, a lot of people know they do age tequila though.
They do. Like, I was in Cozumel a few years back and I went to a tequila farm, and you know what I'm saying? Like, they show you how they actually do it. Like, you know, like I said, the agave tequilas and stuff. So I don't talk about it usually, but that was really what turned me on the whiskey, because I like the actual the distillation process. I liked how they actually, like you said, they use like a corn base, or you know what I'm saying, barley, rye, you know what I'm saying?
So, man, we could talk about that all day. Let's get to these questions, Kenny, man. Let me find out that I got a whiskey connoisseur over here, man. No, man, we definitely got to talk offline one day, Brandon. Go ahead, Kenny. What's that first question? Round one, guys. Y'all ready?
We are in the first round. First question: what generational curses do you have or seen that believe should be broken? I'll say it again. What generational curses do you have or seen that believe should be broken?
I want to start with Sparkle. Can we start with you, Spark, on that?
Yeah, I would say colorism.
Talk to me about it.
Huh?
Talk to me about that.
We need to let the light skin, brown skin, dark skin stuff go. Like, I had a conversation with a really good friend recently, and she's browner, and you know, a lot of times she was saying that, you know, she's lived with this brown skin thing historically, that her skin wasn't better, but you know, lighter skinned people go through things too. And one of the things that I said to her was that the lighter you are, the more stripped of your bloodline you are. So people that are lighter deal with, you know, those things as well. So I would say trying to break that generational curse. Everybody deals with colorism at some point, normally when you're a little younger, you know, but lighter people deal with it too. And that's what I would like to say. We need to let that go. We are all the same. Light-skinned people have been stripped of more, a lot, you know. my bloodline is so tainted and tarnished and all of that. So
yeah,
that's my point.
I've been called black as shit plenty of times in my childhood. For real. Like,
Uh,
I
I
get
thought
it.
that was my middle name in 3rd grade.
What?
Brandy, what about you, Brandy?
I mean, I'm gonna piggyback off of Sparkle. Like, thanks, sis, because like I couldn't really think of one, but that definitely resonated because not to make it, you know what I'm saying, it's the Willie Lynch syndrome. Like, not to make it in contrast, but I went through some stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like growing up, I went to school, like my elementary school. I don't even think it's called that no more, but it was called Richardson. It was like right in the middle of Clay Terrace projects in Northeast Washington, D.C. And I remember distinctly at recess, people coming around me talking about, like they would actually get around me and do this little chant called "Shake It Like a White Girl." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like because I used to be lighter than what I am now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I never understood it. And you know what I'm saying? I have a blood brother, same mother, same father, who's kin's complexion, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I know we have the dominant gene, because we can make everything, you know what I'm saying? So I grew up with certain complexes about like having to play down the fact that people telling me I think I'm a certain way because of my skin. I ain't never thought that though. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never thought that. Like, and I used to kind of be on some like, damn, like I might as well act like that then, since people try to make me think that that's what I'm on. I was never on that though. So just saying all of that, I've seen it, and I would even add to that, outside of the colorism and you know, just stereotyping, you know, women off of their complexion, is hair texture. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I used to always joke around. I would be like, yeah, I'm light skinned, but I don't have no good hair. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't get the whole package. Like, I ain't got light eyes and good hair, quote unquote. But it's a psychology, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's psychological. And, you know, growing up, I could see it in some of my family, like, you know what I'm saying, them kind of perpetuating getting relaxers or having to straighten out your hair, you know what I'm saying? And that's something I'm even teaching my children. Like, I have 3 sons and I have a daughter, and you know what I'm saying, my daughter, she has locks, and I tell her every day that her hair is beautiful, because it is. Like, you know what I'm saying, your hair is beautiful how it grows out your scalp. So that's one of the things that I intentionally make sure that I breathe and I speak life into, because that was something that I know I grew up feeling like, dang, like my hair supposed to be a certain texture, just because of, you know what I'm saying, like how people, you know, like how they projected that onto me. So.
Got you. I understand, because I know a lot of dark-skinned women always say they get tired of hearing people say, you know, you beautiful for a black girl or for a dark-skinned girl.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
understand what you're saying about that. Bryce, what about you, man? What'd you say, Sparkle? You muted, Sparkle. Hold on. What was you about to say?
I was told by this guy a long time ago that you have fun with the light-skinned woman, but you marry a dark-skinned woman. Wow. And I'm like, fuck what, you.
Did he say why?
Because it's just, you know, the thing. And just to go back to what Brandy said, you know, having to downplay who you were. So not only was I a light-skinned girl with like brown eyes, my name was Sparkle. So I always got, you know, a bad rap that I thought that I was better than people. So I had to be, you know, silly and bring myself out in a way that I was like, no, like I'm like every fucking body else. And it just got old, you know, and it got tiresome. And I always said, you know, I have a daughter and she's brown. She's a brown girl. That I didn't want her to be lighter, you know, in complexion, because I didn't want her to have to go through, you know, some of the things that I went through as an adolescent. And you think about it, that you go through these things as an adolescent, but no, it's like grown ass people that still have these mentalities, and we just need to break that. Like that. We're all the same.
Cool. Bryce, what about you, Bryce?
I would like to say mine is less of a curse and more of just like a stereotype. But y'all know I work with a lot of youth athletes and stuff. And just kind of putting that time back into the community, into our kids and stuff. And now being a father of a young queen, I just would like to see a change with the way that we look at the father in the household, period. I don't really care whose household or what the color of it is, but I think that's a stereotype that we as African Americans deal with. I remember when I was in school, my father wasn't the most, active parent when we were growing up. My mom did most of everything. She did the disciplining, she did the homework, she did the cooking, she did, drop-offs and pickups from practice. She did all of it. So, just growing up and people being like, yeah, you don't got your dad either, right? Like, nah, my dad actually at home, he just ain't shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, just to have that though, but like, I think that was something that I've been into. So when I really came home from college, I started coaching high school football. And that was something that I noticed. A lot of the young men leaned on me more than just like a big brother. I was more than just the 24-year-old coach. I was like they father at times, like certain conversations and things that they needed. I felt like they leaned on me for that. And I feel like to just break that thought process and make sure that we are giving back. I think everybody in here said something about a child. So just making sure that we give back to our children, that understanding, like, you deserve a happy home. You don't have to be with somebody that you're not happy with. And you deserve to be, you, your husband, wife, whatever it is that you choose, but you and your family should be well taken care of. You should be passing down your home to them, not kicking them out when they turn 18. So just changing those thought processes, I think that kind of circle around our ethnicity, our, color. I feel like those are the things that I would like to see change. Just understanding wealth, understanding how to go to the bank and get you a house. And for the next 30 years, you could pass it down through your family. And then when you own it, then you can make some money. And then, you know what I mean? Like, just helping people to be more educated on processes that can actually keep us all from, recycling bad credit and GoFundMe every time somebody gets shot.
I got you. Kenny, you want me to go or you want to go?
It don't matter, bro.
I can go. I'll let you in the segment. Like everybody said, that's a couple of things that I would like to see. One thing that Bryce said, broken homes, and that's both single mothers and single fathers. I know I'm a product of, a broken home. My mom was a product of a broken home. Well, not necessarily a broken home, but, not having a real dad in the household, stepdad and everything like that. So, from her standpoint, she felt like, because her and my father didn't really, make it that, I can have a stepfather, that's the thing. Alcoholism, I think is a big one that I would like to see broken. Abuse all the way around the board. When it comes to, whoopings, we come from, Black kids, they all, even when you hear, comedians talk about, they always say, yeah, man, we need to whoop our kids, you know what I mean? And I don't think every time a whooping is not the final answer all the time. What else? Financial stability, things like that we need to talk about. One thing, I don't know if it's necessarily generational curse, but going to college. It's cool. I think college just makes you sociable. But it's a lot of successful people that out here that don't have a college degree. You know what I mean? So I'm not, it's just, the end all be all is go to college. And then it's crazy because when you come out of college, the first thing you do is you start out with a bill. Also, like Bryce said, putting the child out of the house before they're ready, 18 years old. We haven't figured it out yet. You know what I mean? I think that's another thing we need to get away from. Just putting the child out of the house at a certain age and just let them stay until they can get their stuff together. I definitely want to break the generation curse. I don't know everybody like that, but you know the line. You want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book. You know, just reading more and just educating more. That as well.
Don't make me pull my books out now.
Nah, I mean, I'm just saying
pull my
something.
books out.
You know, I definitely want to also break the generational curse of, you know, men not, I mean, I'm also talking about my community as well, but like, you know, and then with men though, period, just like not being able to be vulnerable, not being able to be in touch with your feelings. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't necessarily think it's soft to be in touch with your, you know, your feelings. You know what I mean? My dad, like, the one thing that I'm appreciative of when I met my dad, I always talk about him on the show, but he hugged me. You know, you're not used to that. You know what I mean? As men, we're not used to really getting hugs. We dap up. We talk about we always okay. We never stress how we really feel. You know what I'm saying? We don't have outlets like that. So just some certain those things that I would like to see change. Some of those things, and some of those are experiences as well. But I would like to see some of those curses broken. You know, like I know that a lot of women that I've talked to say that men should break the curse of cheating.
That ain't a curse.
But I don't think it's a curse. But you know,
Don't start.
Curse. Women are the best.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm just saying of what was said by some, like, when are you gonna break the style? Like, you know, my granddad was a cheater. I've heard this conversation. Like I said, I don't know if it's necessarily a generational curse, but I've always heard, and I know Bryce and Kenny, you've heard this as well. Well, they like your dad was a cheater, your uncles was a cheater.
My mother and my father was a cheater.
But I'm just saying what we hear. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying what we hear, and I know Bryce and Kenny can attest to this. Your dad, great granddad was a cheater. You see it on movies. You know, I watched a movie where the guy, it's another baby that comes home.
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Yeah, Papa was a Rolling Stone. You know what I mean? You know the saying, mama's baby, papa's maybe. You know, like those, like, you know what I mean? When it comes to those things.
Then that means the woman's the cheater.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm just saying. But you know, the man can deny it. The man that can deny it all the time. Even when you watch these shows, it's always the man is the cheater.
See, like, I think where you gotta, if we gonna touch on like undoing or unlearning or changing something, I would suggest maybe not go from the standpoint of infidelity or cheating, but maybe go from changing the traditional societal expectations of relationships. Because a lot of times I feel like the reason why people cheating is because they're regurgitating standards of relationships that's just been passed on, that evolutionary,
like I said,
they
it's
don't
a
work.
generational curse. It's a generational
But that's what
curse.
I'm saying. So it should, the focus.
If I'm a swinger, am I a cheater?
First of all,
you my type.
I mean, if you got an agreement,
that's an agreement.
That's an
But you go put the champagne down, Sparkle. Put the champagne down. But like I said, I'm just saying what. But it's always when you look at how it looks, it's always the man that's considered more of the cheater than the woman. So that's all I'm just saying. Like they're like, and I've heard it. Well, why don't you break that curse? Why don't you break that habit? You know what I mean? So I'm just saying what I've heard and what I've seen. So you know what I mean? I knew I was going.
But you a cheater based on the standard of the relationship standard that you created. That's what I'm saying. Like, you in control of that. So why go into a certain type of relationship under them contexts that you not supposed to be with nobody else but the woman that you with? If you want to be with multiple women, go into a relationship that allows multiple women.
So before we get on track, because I do want Kenny to go.
No. This is good.
I want to know, but I want to know this, Brandy. I hate Sparkle because I Sparkle argue all the time. But I do want to hear this, Brandy. Are you going into a relationship with a guy that says he wants to be with multiple women?
Yeah, something going on with your audio. You said what's the last part of that?
Sorry. So are you going into a relationship with a guy that says that he wants to be with multiple women, but you're number one?
Well, first of all, a man who's actually doing something like that, he's not gonna come to me telling me like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he would probably already be in a situation that he has a woman or women.
Let's say that he don't have in the situation. Let's just say, hey, I like you more than I like these other joints that I'm dealing with, but I'm still gonna deal with them as well. Are you okay with that, Brandy?
No, because that's not how, that's
I'm asking you a question. Let's not deviate from my question.
no, because the way you presenting it,
Not
like,
even realistic. Don't put her on
That
the
is
spotlight.
realistic.
That
You guys just said.
that's not how you would present it though.
You
Because
just
that's the,
said. Hold up. You just said that if a man's going to it saying that this, that, and the third. So I'm presenting the question to you. What the question you stated? Will you deal with a man? Will you deal with a man that says, "Hey, I like to deal with a lot of women, but I like you more than the other women that I deal with"?
nah, because a dude who really about that, he wouldn't tell me he wouldn't tell me nothing like that. Like, he would already.
Being honest, he's being truthful.
James, you're
Listen,
putting
hold
her
up.
on the
Before,
spot.
listen.
What if she was with it, but she didn't want all of us to know?
But nah, I mean, I don't even have a problem with that aspect of it. I'm just trying to get him to see the context of how he's trying to present the question to me.
I'm presenting no way. I'm just
It isn't
no.
realistic. It isn't realistic. So I feel like, hold up. It's not realistic to somebody who I feel like who actually operates in that type of lifestyle. It's not realistic in how they would even present something like that. So they're not gonna come at you like, oh yeah, I got all these women, but I like you the most. Like, that's some cornball shit. Like, he wouldn't even tell you nothing like that out the gate.
Right.
All I'm saying is that's the statement.
Go ahead, Brian.
Brandy, you can call it cornball all you want, but that's the statement you said to me.
No,
You
what
just said,
I said,
go into it.
what I said is, what I
going in to just say,
no, what I said is, if you have, if it's a challenge for you to stay faithful to one woman, if you're not a monogamous person, because let's be real, like, there's nothing wrong with monogamy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was monogamous my entire marriage. I don't have any reservations about admitting that. I know can't nobody prove no receipts that I wasn't, because
I'm monogamous.
Right. Well, based on the traditional standards, I was supposed to be monogamous. But what I'm saying is, if somebody finds themselves in a situation that they're in what is perceived to be a monogamous marriage or a relationship, and they're finding themselves stepping outside of that, then they need to start asking themselves questions like, well, maybe monogamy isn't actually for me. Maybe I need to explore open relationships. Maybe I need to explore polygamy. That's what I'm saying.
And all I asked you is, would you deal with a guy? All I asked was, would you deal with a guy that's into, if you want to say open relationship or polygamy, would you deal with a guy like that? That's all I asked.
I would say that I would be open to actually entertaining him based off of him being able to talk to me in such a way that he's being transparent about that's how he actually operates.
That's all I asked.
I'm not saying that just automatically means that's the only type of guy that I would be willing to deal with, or that's what I feel like my standard would be. I'm just saying that him walking and operating in that truth, that means something, because at least he's being honest about his life, his lifestyle. I'm not sitting around trying to guess like if he could actually be monogamous or not.
No, that's all I asked, because that's like I said, I've been told that from women that, just because, the granddaddy, the great granddaddy, and so on and so forth, your uncles and all that cheat, that don't mean you continue to keep that curse going. And then, y'all, Sparkle and Brandy kind of went, oh no, that ain't this, that, and that's cool. I'm just saying. Listen, all I'm saying is,
maybe I was a swinger, and I don't think that it's a monogamous world. That's what I said. You try to put Brandy on the spot.
No, I did not try to put Brandy on the spot. Brandy made a statement.
Why did you ask me?
Because listen. Then let me ask you, Sparkle. At the end of the day, when you deal with a guy that came to you and said, hey, listen, I'm not into just one woman, but I like you the most.
This about to be good.
That wouldn't happen.
Why wouldn't it happen?
That wouldn't happen because, like Brandy said,
we don't talk like that.
He would not be that uncle. James, you are not that stupid. Okay.
Why? Well, so see, that's what I'm saying. Why is it stupid? Why is it stupid for me to make that statement?
James,
Oh,
James,
let me
have
help.
you ever dealt with multiple women?
I'm away from
James,
Sparkle.
What'd you say? What'd you say, Sparkle? Hold on, Sparkle. What did you say?
Have you ever dealt with multiple women?
You said I've never dealt with multiple women?
Have you?
Bryce, go ahead.
So you put me on the spot. Go ahead, Bryce.
Just like you try to put my homegirl brain.
Kenny said, Bryce, go ahead.
Have you ever dealt with multiple women?
Look.
Answer the Brandy, I got you.
James, let me
Right. Answer.
Have I dealt with multiple women? Yes, I've dealt with multiple women before.
Exactly. And you didn't tell anybody who you liked more. You just dealt with it. You rolled with it.
No, that's not true. That is not true.
Wow. They
That
were
is
gone
not
the
true.
next day then.
Listen, it was
Exactly.
not true. I said, listen, I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. That's what I said.
You, that is,
At the end of the day, but that was prior to, but like when I,
that was
but I
prior
wasn't
to
in,
what?
I was not in a relationship. When I got in a relationship, I was monogamous.
At the end of the day, this is not a monogamous
When I was
world.
not, when I was not monogamous, because I was not in a relationship, I said, listen, shorty, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Bryce, what did you want to say real quick? Hey, generational curse.
Do you have
Hold up, Bryce. Hold up, Bryce.
issues?
Hold up, Bryce. Let me get Kenny's general.
Nah. Go ahead, Bryce. Get it in.
Let me get. Oh, so you don't want to talk about the generational curse, Brandon?
Bryce, are you a swinger, Bryce? Do you swing?
I feel like I'll answer the question in this manner because I don't want to classify myself as a swinger. I'm currently.
So I'm the only one that said I was a swinger. Am I alone?
What she say? You
She's a
said
swinger.
you a swinger?
And I'm joking. I'm really not.
I'm about to call Sparkle. Give me her number when we get off of this. Nah, but look, so my personal opinion on it is similar to what Sparkle just said. I do not believe that everybody and everything are meant to be monogamous. Like we are not penguins, right? So like it's certain types of it's certain mammals that practice monogamy. Like this, me and my little red robin, we done laid an egg right here, and for the rest of my life, I'm gonna fly behind her. I don't care where we go. We're gonna go to state together. We're gonna do all of that. I do not believe at our lesser, I guess, more animal instinct that we are made for one person, because I feel not to be, I guess, because we y'all drink and I'm not, but like both of the young ladies that are on tonight, both y'all look good. So I call both of y'all. Both of y'all will give me the same physical feeling, and I think that's where it's different. When someone thinks from an emotional standpoint versus a physical standpoint, it changes the intricacy of the relationship. Like when somebody is geared more towards the physical toll of a relationship, and some people are geared towards that emotional or that comforting. A lot of people are looking for, like, they got mom and dad issues, so they want to be monogamous based off of like what Brandy said. They want to be monogamous based off of what society tells you you have to be. But if me and Brandy were dating for the last 10 years and we're having the best time of our life, but I have not asked her to marry me, but she's still having the best time of her life, that's all that really matters. We are married in our way. That's the way that it could be. It don't have to be like that. Me personally, I haven't talked to, I'm a former college athlete, was, trying out for the NFL and stuff too. So my experiences may be different, but like, I'm trying to, I want my girlfriend to have a girlfriend. And then they should be able to call another girl for me too if they going out of town. Like, I'm like that, but I would never tell no woman I like you more than anybody. Exactly. The only thing that I'm gonna tell all of their asses is I love you. I ain't talking about nobody else when I'm getting my rocks on. We talk about our situation, and it ain't gonna be no other situations being spoke on. I don't care who she fucking, as long as it's an understanding. See, that's what communication, I feel like communication nowadays is where you going, who you with, when you coming back, what time can I expect you? That's what is messed up now, because people feel like that's communication. But real communication is, baby, today, I was thinking, I actually would like to introduce somebody else to the bedroom with us. Is that a possibility? And being able to be straightforward with somebody, not saying, oh, I like this girl. It's never going to work in that manner. But if somebody really fucks with you and the vibes that y'all giving, then you can have just straight up, like Brandy said, transparent conversations.
That's transparent. If I tell you, listen, shorty, I'm still
no, but that is idiotic though, bro. Listen,
it's not.
When
No,
you
hold
are
on. Hear me out.
when you are talking to women, I am not going to tell no woman at any point, mind you, in my personal opinion, and I know the two ladies, they may disagree, but in my personal opinion, a woman is very insecure in herself as a woman a lot of the way through. So at a certain age, at a certain hold on,
y'all about to take this whole conversation.
At a certain age or at a certain level of experience, I feel like we all lose our insecurity in whatever it could be, or some people it heightens.
Don't say women. We all we all have insecurities.
But I'm saying like this in a manner of like, I don't give a fuck if you thought Kenny was cuter than me. Like that type of conversation with me wouldn't deter me or make me feel no type of way. But on the other hand, what James was trying to say was what I feel like is idiotic, because I'm not bringing that up to another woman. But what I'm trying to say is the reaction that both of you had to a nigga that would come at you and say, I think somebody else is cuter. Both of you reacted the same exact way. He's a fucking goofy. He's lame for that.
Nah, like I was saying that to hold up. I was saying that to him, saying that he would come to a woman or come to me saying, you know, I have multiple women or I have other situations, but I like you more. I was saying that was some goofy shit. Like to your point, yeah, like everybody have insecurities, but I can't speak for all women. I don't like to generalize. But in my experiences, it's not always so much in the insecurity part. It's just like nobody wants to feel inadequate. So as a woman, and you know what I'm saying, like it depends on that woman, of course, but we're territorial. So you know what I'm saying? If we're dealing with a man, like ultimately at the end of the day, I know for me, I just want to know, how am I special to you? Period. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because right, like I can't, I'm not about competing. I'm not about trying to figure out what she got or what she looked like or what her dimensions are or all of that. Like if she, whatever, it's like, what do you find in me that makes me unique to you as to why you want to even be with me?
Right.
Because if you can actually articulate that, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what makes a woman loyal to understanding that, okay, this is my role in your life. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what that's what goes over a lot of guys' heads, I think, in a lot of instances, because sometimes I think it's generalized. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think Sparkle kind of spoke on that. Somebody said that, like, what's the difference between you knocking me down and knocking her down on the physical aspect, you know what I'm saying, on some men and some women just like the variety. So like if you know how to articulate that, if you know how to recognize that and articulate that, a lot of times I feel like that's what women are looking for, and you just knowing how to say that, like, you know what, you bring this, or this is what I take from our interactions. Go ahead, because you look bothered, Jay.
I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered at all. But I definitely want Kenny to talk about his generational curse. But this is the last I'm going to say, and we definitely keep talking about it. But but what I was saying was, and that was just the simplest form. But what I was saying was, can you deal with a man pretty much that deal with multiple women outside of you? You know what I mean? But my thing was, hold up. We were talking about generational curse. So when a guy says to you, hey, listen, you know, this, that, and he comes to you, how you doing? Whatever his approach is to you, then he explains to you, hey, I have other women that I'm talking to, but something about you, I find you attractive, and I would like to get to know you on some type of level. Are you okay with that? Like, of course, I was just talking from a standpoint because, you know, it's always break the curse. And then I was like, and I was just asking you, Brandy, because I was just saying, because you had made a statement. So my statement was to you was just, can you deal with a man that want multiple women in his life and you as well? That's all. That was the real question. I was
I can.
Okay, that's it. That's it.
Yes. And but the caveat to that, because there's always caveats.
That's the. I'm not looking for the caveat.
Well, the only reason why it's a caveat is because usually what I find is, and I hate to generalize, but most of the time men don't tell you that up front, or they don't walk in their own truth. Like they're not confident and they're not actually living that real lifestyle. Like it's one thing to say that just because you know what I'm saying, you just on some like, all right, like I'm gonna see how much I could get away with. Like I really know this my wife or my main woman or my girlfriend, whatever your titles are, and then I'm gonna still try to see what I could get off from. That's something totally different. There's a difference between what I just said and then somebody who's actually operating in that lifestyle, who can be transparent with you up front and let you know, look, I'm already in something. It's an open relationship. They know how, you know what I'm saying? We have an agreement. Like that's different. And so that's all I'm saying. Like, yes, in that instance, I could be open, you know what I'm saying, to at least exploring, getting to know you, or just seeing if that would be something I would want to explore further. But what I find oftentimes is men, they may not tell you that up front. Or you saying, can a woman handle that? Can a woman handle a man having
I ain't even saying that. I ain't saying about the handle part. I don't, and I'm sorry, Brandon. I didn't mean to cut you off. And I do apologize. I apologize for that. But I don't want to go too far off topic. But that's something that we definitely I want to talk to you about offline. So we'll definitely talk about that offline and go further into it. But I do want to kind of bring it back real quick about the generational curse. So Kenny, before we move on to the next question, let's talk about it. Let's get into your generational curses that you would like to see broken or have seen and that you like to see change, I guess. Brandon, I do want to come back to that though. So don't forgive me for that.
Yeah, it's nothing different than y'all's. I mean, what you said, when you and Bryce said, the male figure in the household or male influence on the children. Mm-hmm. I think me growing up with my mom and father, who've been together all my life, and having that male influence in you know, having that role model, and then you know, I always think like with my father, I was more afraid of my father and what he'll do to me than me fucking around with them street niggas, you know, outside.
I told you he was gonna say it. I told you he was gonna say it.
What?
You know what you said. You said the N-word. You said that. I knew you were going. I knew you.
Oh.
He says it every show.
That's okay.
You said it a couple times, but anyway, back to my point. I was more afraid of my father and what he'll do to me. Had he found out I did something out of pocket, and I always wish that I understand that you know, marriages and relationships, you know, people find out that they aren't, you know, meant to be, or they, you know, can't be together but they can actually remain some type of companion for the sake of the child. And I always think like, even for like what Bryce does with the kids in the sports, I always think like that male figure is always important for the youth. Because I mean, sometimes kids, you know, they don't know how to handle their emotions, especially the young men tend to veer off into the streets if they don't have that male figure. And, you know, this when you hear gangs and kids just, you know, doing things, menace, you know, demonic things out in the street. So, you know, that's one thing that, you know, something that my father didn't have growing up. He didn't have his father, actually his biological father in his life, but he had other male figures that was in his life. And, you know, for me, I got the double-edged sword of it, because he didn't have his biological father in his life. He basically, I kind of felt he overdid it in a sense, to the point where he was, you know, me and him, he overdid it to the point sometimes we bump heads, but you know, as I got older, I understood.
Okay, cool. So more for you is the you know, just having a male figure in the house, breaking the curse of a broken home. Gotcha. Let's move on to this round two, man. Good conversation. Even though we veered off, I did still like the conversation. And Brandy, I definitely want to get back to it. Sparkle and Bryce as well, because that thing like that was very interesting. I don't know what Sparkle doing down there. She looked like she got 3 or 4 conversations. She listens to some good music. But
Yeah, little points and shit, laughing and shit.
Jealous?
no, not jealous at all.
Insecure, right?
Wow,
I'm being
that's what we
insecure,
doing. That's what we doing.
I'm
Wow,
not saying nothing right now.
wow.
I'm just trying to deal with
okay.
my insecure self right now. Me and my
Wow.
insecurities. Mm-hmm.
What?
You look
Like
good
I
as
said,
a
I
motherfucker to
What
me.
it
Don't worry
is,
about what
Sparkle.
Bryce
It's
talking
like
about.
they can't handle what we they can't handle what we say stuff straight up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
But can I
let's
just,
hold up, man. Let's get to this next question, man. Let's
before you do that though, I just would like to clean the air. I definitely, before saying anything about any type of insecurity, I was just saying from my stance, which was, in my opinion, not saying all, but just the ones that I know. I don't know neither one of y'all, and I know for sure y'all are beautiful people. So please don't take that like that.
Hey, man, come on, man.
We spent 2 hours together. You know us now. So now what?
But man, let's get to this next question.
Somebody give me Sparkle phone number. I'm about to text you.
I'm insecure. I'm problematic. And
And I'm
man.
toxic, so I like that shit. So we can keep it moving.
What's the next question? What's the next question, Kenny? Second round. Second round. Man.
I told you them two was gonna bump heads too. I told you that, James.
Bryce? How you say that when I got called on here at the last goddamn?
Man, listen, round two, Kenny. Round two,
Kenny.
Kenny.
When he told, I said,
Kenny, round two. Stop letting Sparkle talk.
No, like I don't have shit to do. I have a life, even on the quarantine. Shit.
Second round.
You obviously ain't got nothing to do because if I called you the last minute, you was available.
I was washing my hair. Self-care night. Friday night is self-care night. Fuck it.
All right, second round, man. Do you think religion or culture or some other aspect of your identity or background influences how you think about mental health? If so, how? Y'all want me to read that again?
I've had a bottle of champagne. Can you?
I'll read it a couple times. Do you think your religion or culture or some other aspect of your identity or background influences how you think about mental health? If so, how?
Choose, Kenny, why you looking?
I think your environment has a lot to do with how we look at mental health.
Bryce is gonna jump right in though.
Go ahead, Bryce.
Yeah, I was about to say, I just feel like it's an environment, like, you know, it's like product of my environment type stuff. I think a lot of mental health issues are looked at by people who, you know, we live in communities where we see like crackheads and stuff, right? So at least in my, I guess, thing, like when I was growing up, my mother used to always, you know, I guess be on us about calling somebody retarded or saying somebody was stupid, because she would let us know like those are actual mental disabilities. So then growing up with somebody who dealt with depression, anxiety, bipolarism, like I had all of those type of, I guess, people around me growing up. So I do feel like the way that we take it in is also your environment. If you don't know no better, you'll laugh at a person with Tourette's syndrome. And I feel like, you know, that's higher up on the spectrum, right? But at the same time, it's still a mental health thing. I believe in our environment also. Just by me personally, I grew up around a highly populated African-American area in Prince George's County. So when you see, I guess, Black families, from what I know, it's like they're very dismissive to, ain't nothing wrong with him. He just need his ass whooped. Like, that's how I grew up. It was
right.
ADHD. Hell, that motherfucker don't need no Ritalin. Let me hit him with the other side of the belt tonight. It'll switch something. So I also just think it's your environment. But if you come from, I guess, a place where people take heed to that, like people know, you could pass those things down. Anxiety, depression, bipolar, just to say a few, but those are all things that can be passed down. So I think it's really just about how educated people are on the actual mental health thing within that, I guess, circumference.
All right. Brandy.
I I'm sorry, repeat it. What was the question again?
All right, it's do you think religion or culture or some other aspect of your identity or background influences how you think about mental health? If so, how?
Yeah, definitely. I think definitely societal, you know, I don't even want to say societal pressure, but just traditionally, you know what I'm saying? People say it all the time, like Black people, they perpetuate the narrative that we don't go to therapists, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we don't seek out actual mental health resources, that we just go to church, we pray. You know what I'm saying? Like we, yeah, we pray it away. So I didn't know this though until I knew it. So growing up, and experiencing certain things, you know what I'm saying, especially in my early adulthood, and I think not to go off on a tangent, but I know that definitely plays into, specifically with Black women, into the narrative of us like being strong Black women. A lot of that narrative comes from the ideology that, we're supposed to bear all, that, we're Teflon, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we just keep taking it. And I know that it has gained more acceptance, and it's more prevalent now that Black women do seek out mental health resources, that we do see therapists, that we do seek out behavioral counseling, because it's actually something that I've learned over the years. You know what I'm saying? It's actually a lot of different areas within that. They usually say psychiatry, they medicate you. It's not actually about trying to rehabilitate or actually get to the bottom of maybe the trauma or what has contributed to that. So saying all of that, that definitely, I know, played a role in some of the things that I've experienced, and just realizing like, damn, like I be ruminating about the same things. Like, you know what I'm saying? I probably need to actually find healing or look into why I keep doing this or why I keep thinking about this. But if you don't have those examples, or you don't have like a blueprint that lets you know, like, this is what you can do, or this is what, most people do to help change that, that's like kind of perpetuating, like, to just think that you're just going to like get over it, or that's just going to go away.
Okay. Yeah. Sparkle.
Sorry. So mental health. I'm proud of today's society that we have become more educated in terms of, getting in tune with some resources and acknowledging that people that are quote unquote crazy, they're not crazy. They have some behavioral and social and traumatic issues. So I'm really proud of where we are as a society, as minorities, and starting to tap into, looking into some resources, some therapeutic, some things. And I'm excited about it. I think that we all have very traumatic experiences that we need to talk to someone about. And years ago, we suppressed these things. So I'm excited. I need a counselor. If you guys.
What you say? You broke? You went out, Spot. Your speaker. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, your audio went out.
The audio went out.
Yeah, just disconnect from the computer audio and then connect back if you can.
Spot, connect back. You're on mute now. Can you see what's going on with you?
Y'all didn't hear that?
Yeah,
I can hear it. Now you hear you now. So I think what you were saying. No,
we heard just the last part of it.
I think you were saying that if you know a good counselor.
I was reading it, and I'm not gonna be able to read it again.
No, not no, but I know you were talking about if you knew a good counselor, point you in that direction, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that was the part we didn't hear, and I assume that's what you said.
Yeah.
For time's sake, I'll be short, James. You know,
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all done with me?
oh
Y'all
no,
got
unless
what
you
y'all needed, now y'all done? Okay.
go
I
ahead.
see.
No, go ahead. I guess you ain't finished. Go ahead, Sparkle.
I'm muted. It's cool. Y'all got what y'all needed. It's okay. I'm cool with that.
Yo.
I'm gonna let you quiet.
So with me, damn, Spark, you threw me off. With me, I'm probably the most ignorant person when it comes to mental health, probably on this segment. And I want to get better. I want to acknowledge it. But you know, me growing up, I had cousins and family members that went to go see psychiatrists and things like that. And I just literally thought, you know, I didn't think that it was dealing with traumatic experiences and they just need to talk through to get through it. I just thought something was wrong with them. And that's just me being honest as a kid. But like, you know, I probably may need to go talk to people because one thing I do is I have a hard time.
Compartmentalize.
Yeah, I always have a hard time saying that.
Compartmentalize.
Yeah, I do that a lot. When it comes to confrontation, if I'm getting, you know, not to put my business out there, but if I was to go back and forth with my wife or whatever, I'll just shut down and just let that shit. Whatever. Like, it ain't even worth going back and forth. Dealing with death, I keep it moving. You know, I feel just the pain just as much as everybody else do, but I'm the one that I feel like it's a luxury for me to sit there and you know, go through those experience those feelings and things like that. But and I just think it's just the way I was brought up. I was brought up by a tough, and you know, my father James Kenny B, tough motherfucker. And it's you know, it's just the way he was brought up. I only know how to talk one way. Like, I talk hard all the time, not like hard in the sense of being a, you know, somebody from the streets or something. Like, I can talk where it'll offend somebody, but I'm not trying to offend them. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, but yeah, it's just the way I was raised. I think that's a big influence on me.
I guess I think everybody hit the nail on the head. Pretty much everything what everybody said, especially Brandy talking about you know, the religion portion of it. You know, we tend to, from I guess minority, we've been tending to pray about it. Bryce, what he said, don't you know, or Kenny, what you said about, like, you know, you're just crazy. You know, it's not you going through any mental health issues, just crazy. Even what Sparkle said about, you know, and I'm, like I said, I like what Sparkle said about being happy that, you know, as we get older and we gain knowledge about it, we're doing more. We're doing more to seek help, to help us with our mental issues. I think we all may suffer from some type of mental issue, but I do think that what you guys are saying about it is, you know, what I would think as well. When you think about, like, I think we all kind of, like, some people like may suffer from hood PTSD, seeing certain things and that being the normal. And I'm not just talking about mental health in the sense of, you know, like when Bryce said maybe Tourette's or, you know, that type of mental health, but just things such as, you know, you seeing somebody get shot, or, you know, you see selling drugs, or, you know, you don't think you're gonna make it past 25 because that's just the norm. Or, you know, when you're dealing with somebody who's been, you know, abused, like you said, daddy issues, mother issues, things of that nature, not just necessarily mental health in the sense of what we just say was, for lack of a better term, retardation, even though that's not the word. I know Sparkle's gonna get on me for saying that. But for a disability.
That word hurt.
Yeah, that word hurts. Handicap. Those situations.
No more handicap.
Right, no more handicap. I'm just saying, for lack of a better term, those words.
I'm the most ignorant person when it comes to it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm just saying.
That's us being ignorant. Yeah.
Before.
Right, but like those words are a person with disabilities and things like that. Just thinking from that standpoint and not thinking about like things of like, you know, rape, or, you know, household issues, having to grow up faster, seeing something that kind of changed your direction or changed your trajectory on life, if you've seen somebody getting shot, killed, all those things, and like seeking help, just seeking help in those professions, because we, like I said, being in a space where you suppress those things and just keep pushing, or not, like, for example, not dealing with death. Like, I didn't deal well with my grandmother dying. That was something that I should have probably talked to somebody about. Some things that I had locked up. So I think what all you guys said is true. I think we definitely need to do a better job of seeking some help on when it comes to mental issues, because we've been told, and maybe that's a possibility of a generational curse from what's been taught to us from the beginning as a minority. You just deal with it and you keep pushing, you keep moving on. You hear it in music, everything. It's just one of those things where I think we definitely could do a better job in that space, and now reaching out and seeking help. For guys, I know for us, when we have anger, we seek a way to get it out. Like, it may be therapy of shooting a gun, it may be therapy of fighting, it may be therapy of that. Not knowing that therapy, is a mental therapy, that we're trying to figure out some things. So, I definitely think that it has something to do with, the way you brought up your experiences. And I do think a religion play a role, because like Brandy said, sometimes just pray.
Right.
Whereas, that may not be working. You may need to go seek professional help, especially if you're dealing with certain issues that it continues to keep coming up and coming up. So,
Bryce, did you have something to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to tell Sparkle, I don't know, your situation or what you're looking for, but I do work with a program called Life Enhancement Services. It's based out of Northwest DC. We are like hired as like CSW workers, or like community social work. So it's not the same as being a social worker, but we do work with people with mental illnesses in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. If you have Medicaid, or you can actually find out if you're able to just get into the program either way, and they will actually assign you somebody who would actually, like, that would be their core focus, was to almost give like a therapy, but at the same time it's less therapy and more like strength discovery and stuff like that, trying to kind of build and help people to kind of build out of maybe whatever rut that they're in. So that is an outlet. I know you said something about looking for somebody, but that would be, I guess, an outlet that's free to you. I don't know what your insurance and stuff looks like, but I know it is free to anybody on Medicaid. So.
Okay, thank you. I'm looking for a life coach too. So.
Oh, that's the guy right here. I do it all. You ain't got to worry about that.
The only thing for me when it comes to the social health thing.
No, y'all don't. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah, he said he got life coach. He said he's a life.
No, does anyone know Ayanla?
Fix my life?
Yes.
Nah, bye.
Okay.
But like for me,
I was
bye, man. But like for me, I would think for me though, like I know with mental health issues as well, my biggest thing is I'd rather deal with somebody where I don't have to sit on the couch, because I'm my comfort level in that, because of my experience, not national experience, but just don't want to be looking at the couch. When you look at it, you think playing crazy when you see it everywhere, TV, your parents and everything like that, or however you've been raised. So I would rather deal with somebody that maybe in talking, walking, having a good time, and having that conversation out to eat, out to lunch, and not just sitting on the couch. You know what I'm saying? That's for me. I don't know how everybody else feel about that, but when it comes to that mental illness or mental health, I definitely think, we need to, address it and not be scared to address it. Like, especially like when you look at certain things, like when you seen a couple of these NBA players, you would be crazy. Like I was shocked to hear certain players say it, due to the fact that I'm like thinking like, man, you got all this money in the world, you can go anywhere you want, you do everything, and everybody know you. But I know, like with Kenny said something that was very important. He said, like right now with the COVID situation, being all around all these people and what's going on gives them anxiety because of what's going on, and not even thinking about that portion of it and how that has transpired to a mental health issue for him, or a mental health situation for him. You know what I mean? So like, I definitely think we need to definitely look into that more and, figure it out, because it possibly could help instead of trying to suppress it and compartmentalize it as well.
If I can add this, if I can add this to that, to the mental health, tidbit, and it just popped in my head as like a revelation almost. I feel like a lot of times why maybe Black people have so many reservations about exploring, therapists and, psychiatry, psychologists, whatever, is you got to look at it just like the gym. So like you could buy you a gym membership and you could show up and all the equipment there, all the resources, you see other people in there, doing their thing, but you still have to put forth an effort. Like you still have to get on the elliptical, you still have to get on the treadmill, you have to still actually sweat and put in the work and utilize the equipment there. So therapy and professional counseling is the same thing. Like just because you have your insurance, you pay your copay and you show up, or whatever your situation is, you pay out of pocket, you show up, you lay back on somebody's couch or you sit in somebody's office, they not the magic worker. Like, like they're not just gonna look at you and have a couple conversations and be able to help. Like that's not what it is. Like it's supposed to be, it's like supposed to be a proverbial like safe space for you to open up and trust that you unpacking, the things that you don't talk about and the things that's really there, it's supposed to be that for you to get it out just so that they can help you understand how you can work through it. Like, like, and that's what I feel like a lot of people have a big misconception about when it comes to mental health counseling. Like they think literally like, oh, I'm gonna go in here, like I'm gonna tell them a couple stories, I'm gonna let them know, they just gonna, nah. And then I'm gonna just say this last part, you also have to find the right type of doctor. You have to find the right type of therapist or psychologist that works for you. Because I'm not no stranger to, to a psychiatrist chair. And I remember I had one, he was an Asian, he was like late 30s Asian man. And I used to tell him straight up, I was like, yo, like you, not that you have to so much be able to relate, but a lot of the things that I'm talking to you about, I can tell that it's textbook things that you're telling me as far as what I need to do, but there's no real, you don't have any type of ability to have empathy. Like you don't have any ability to be able to.
Because you never experienced what you experienced.
Right. And so that's key. Like, and not just saying, because like just because it's a Black man or a Black woman, it don't necessarily mean that they're going to identify with everything that you may have experienced, but you do have to kind of, just like you may vet a gym or you may vet, whatever it is that you may look at patronizing, you have to find that right fit. And sometimes it may not be a professional counseling setting. It may be something else. It may be yoga. It may be some type of, meditation group that you chime in on Wednesday nights. Like, you have to find your fit. You have to find what speaks to your spirit, that actually helps you bring all of that shit up to the surface. And that's how I feel like people really get to a place that they can actually start dealing with healing.
All right, I got you. Let's move
Personal
on.
trainer.
Let's move on to the last question. But before I understand what you're saying, Brandy, one thing that kind of hit me was also before we move on was trust. I think one thing I know for me is just like trusting the total strangers with my deepest, darkest secrets and unpacking those things. And understanding that it's a stranger where, you used to talk to somebody that you confide and that you really trust. And I think that goes a long way as well. But moving on to the last question, last round, man. Like I said, for the last round, I don't know what happened to Sparkle. She disappeared on us again. I just like talking shit.
Bathroom break. I'm sorry, guys.
I just like talking shit to Sparkle, but
no, and I wasn't dressed from the bottom down, so
Jesus Christ, boy, she comes on the show.
I have a shirt on that it's presentable.
Right, that's cool. That's cool, showing your little freaky tails. But
inappropriate. I am a devout Christian woman.
I just knew she was gonna say that. But look at you see Bryce? Hold up, Bryce. What you do, Bryce? Bryce could creep.
That is inappropriate too.
But moving on to this last round, the last call. Everybody raise your glass for me. So for me, and probably I'm gonna do this for a lot of shows. I just wanna usually we'll do it where we let everybody toast or something. But for me, because I lost a great friend. And like I said, like Kenny said, he prayed over the podcast and told us to keep going and everything like that. And for, myself, Brandy, Kenny, somebody that we knew since LBA days or Lower Baltimore Academy, for people that don't know what LBA means, our middle school that we went to, and 20 plus years of life with him. I just want to toast the Pit, man. Toast to JR, toast to Ronald Pittman, man. Ronald Pittman Jr., JR, Big Pit, however y'all know him, Sleepy, all those things, man. That was my guy. Love him so much. I miss him so much already. Miss seeing his bright smile, his laugh, his jokes, all those things, man. Like Brandy said, man, he's the type of guy that can walk in the room and light it up. You know what I'm saying? No matter who was in there. So I want to just raise a toast to him. So toast to Big Pit, man. We love you. We're gonna keep your legacy going.
Love you, bro.
We're gonna keep everything going about you. We're not gonna let you die here for us. We know you resting easy, and we know you got a new place up there in the heavens. So, just continue to be the angel to us that you were here to me on the ground. Thank you.
Love you, Pet.
As I was saying, last call, round 3, last call. What we do to end the show is the only thing we would like for you to do is just tell us something who you would like to have a bar, drink, and entree with. For time, you don't have to go into detail about it. Just tell me who you would like to have a bar, drink, and entree with. Let's start with the whiskey introvert, Miss Brandy. Who would you like to have, if you could, anybody in the world, who would you like to have a bar, drink, and entree with? You on mute, boo.
I would have to say my godmama. She lived in District Heights, Maryland. She lost her fight to cancer late December. So her favorite restaurant was Red Lobster. So yeah, if I could have an entree and a bar drink, it would definitely be with her.
Cool. Sparkle.
I'm sorry. I wanted you to go to somebody else first and then come back to me.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Bryce, if you were drinking, Bryce, I know you're not a drinker anymore, but if you was drinking, who would you like to have a bar drink with? Yeah, who would you like to have a drink or entree with?
I don't like how Sparkle just got whatever type of
Courtesy.
Yeah, how she just get that courtesy? She been up here before. Y'all was supposed to get her to one of us. It's like, nah.
I said somebody before. I didn't want to repeat the same person, but I'm sorry.
Oh, nah, you good. If I could have a drink, you said a drink or entree, right?
Yeah, whatever you would like to do.
Damn, I would probably want to have it with Nipsey Hussle.
Okay.
Cause to keep it short, just coming from I guess similar backgrounds, like we all raised in, everybody from a hood nowadays, but when you come from certain backgrounds and then to be able to make it out and then try to teach people how to catch that fish themselves, you know what I mean? Leading people to the lake. I would like to, I guess, get a dive into his thought process and stuff. And any type of, I guess, tips to do that. I feel like that would be somebody who I would like to do that with.
Cool. Coming back to you, Spot.
I was gonna say Hugh Hefner. So I want to definitely hang out with him.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. You went blank for a reason. You froze for a reason.
Hey James, we participate too in the first show.
Oh yeah, we actually do.
Gotta love Sparkle though.
Yeah, I'm glad she froze. Look at her. Oh, yeah, she back. She back. Why you say you having the spot? Why you say
Give us your reason. Go ahead.
I like his style. He's an outgoing guy. He's a go-getter. He's been around for a long time. May he rest in peace. He has a legacy. It's valid. Yeah.
One of
I
my
definitely would like to hang out with you. I would even wear a robe. Smoke a cigar.
Mute Sparkle, please. Thank you.
That's not fair.
I'm not doing that to my favorite guest.
Exactly.
Kitty, who would you?
Right?
Kitty, who would you like to have a bar drinking entree with?
Y'all gonna be shocked when I say this shit, but I don't care, man. I like to have a bar drinking entree with Suge Knight.
Ain't nobody shocked. You like Death Row.
I think, like,
you got a Compton hat on.
The reason why.
I don't know. Marion.
What you say? Yeah.
His name is Marion.
Yeah. Nah, the reason being is we all know all the fucked up shit Suge did in the industry, but I think he did a lot more good shit in the industry than he did bad shit. And I think a lot of people are still using his blueprints business wise. So I just want to talk to him about, and me being a businessman, I want to talk to him about some of his business aspirations, and just, be a sponge and just soak up knowledge from him talking business with him.
I respect that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Of course, for me, man, outside of my guy Pitt, just to have one last drink with him, of course, because he was a big whiskey connoisseur. Outside of him, I would like to have a drink with Nas. I like to have a bar drinking entree with Nas, man. He's one of my favorite rappers, if not my favorite. I just like the way he think. I like his storytelling. I actually found out a gem about him that he invested in Ring before it got big, and he made $40 million off of it once they sold it to, I forgot who they sold it to, but just wanted to pick his brain on, how they come up with his concepts, what is his thought process when it comes to music, and how he just storytelling. Because one of my favorite songs is him rapping backwards. How did he come up with that? Just some little things that he's done. He makes sure, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he made his daughter the executive producer on all his albums, so she can always get residuals. Just the way he thinks, man, and the way he moves and what he talks about in his albums, that's my guy. And I just want to pick his brain about a lot of things. And, he's always seemed cool, calm, and collective. So, he never, to me, no matter what, he never seemed shaken. Never seemed like he's knocked off his path.
Yeah.
So, that's intriguing to me about no matter what was going on, no matter what was talked about him, he always seemed like he's the same cool guy.
Even on Ether,
just his swag to me is just cool. He just always been dope to me. And I would like to really, sit down and have a good conversation with him about, his life, his journey through music and his journey through just growing up as a Black man. So,
all right. Let's go ahead and wrap it up, man, for time's sake, James.
Oh, man, thank you guys for being on the show, man. We really, really appreciate you guys. Brandy, Bryce, Sparkle, once again, man, always bringing your antics. We really appreciate them. Thank you so much. But thank you guys again for being on the show. We truly, truly appreciate y'all taking the time out to be on this and bearing with us through this. It's the first show back after season 2. This is season 3, episode 1. Took a little break, and this was, like I said, a tough show for me. Just going through the motions when talking about my guy Big Pit, and I appreciate you guys bearing with me through that. And also Kenny, how I felt about him. But thank you guys once again. Make sure to subscribe to our channel, our YouTube channel, Bar Drinks and Entrees on YouTube. Also subscribe to @Bar Drinks and Entrees on Instagram and Facebook. Make sure also, man, one thing we ask, man, is just tell a friend to tell a friend. So please make sure you hit that subscribe button for us.
Yeah.
Before you get off the show, make sure y'all subscribing as y'all leaving the show. Also, man, for everybody else, definitely check us out. You can catch us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and any other streaming services that are out there. Like I said, at the end of it, man, make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. We appreciate y'all. Thank you once again. Man, like we always say, Kenny, it's a wrap.
Right, man. Boy, Drinks and Entrees.
Drinks and Entrees. Appreciate you.